Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to the class. Am I audible?
Yes, hi. Good morning.
So today we'll be talking about Docker volumes and connecting to the EC2 instance where Docker is running. So connected to this instance, start in Docker. So Docker is also started. Now let's look into this and give me a second. So let's start with the Docker volumes today. Let's suppose this is your EC2 instance. Docker host. And in this, we have got so many containers. Let's suppose some containers are running here, right? Let's say in this container, some service, some Tomcat service or whatever is running inside and it's generating some logs, okay, inside the container. Let's suppose after some time, this container is gone or lost. Let's say this container is deleted or got terminated. What happens? All the logs, whatever contain data inside the container would be lost, right? But maybe I want to refer those logs at a later point of time to see how the service worked and all, right? But if the container is gone, all the data is lost. So what we can do, we can use something called volumes to have backup of the container data. Meaning what we'll do, let's suppose inside the container under root logs, there is the data which you want to backup. So map that location to some location on the host, right? And this location on the host would be always in where lib Docker volumes, right? And this has got something called data. Let's say volume one, some directory. So volumes are nothing but a data directories, right? Always in varlib Docker, which is the home directory of Docker, right? This path will be mapped to some path in the log. So even though the container is lost or gone, you still see the data here. right? That's the concept of volumes. And yeah, that's for data backup. Also for data share, let's suppose I want to deploy some WAR file in Tomcat. I may put the WAR file here and connect it to the web apps of Tomcat. So whatever files I have on the host can be seen on the container and vice versa. Like volumes can be used for data backup, also for data sharing from host to container or container to the host, right? Whatever it is. So that's where volumes comes in. This is for like in simple we can say it's for persistent data storage. What may happen to your container? Your data will be persistent. Later on, you can attach the same volume to other container as well, right? This is the basic concept of volume. Let's see this with the hands-on so that we'll see the practical difficulties and all. We'll also see some use case for Jenkins. Good to go. Any questions here?
Ma'am, where live Docker is the root directory of Docker.
Home directory of Docker.
Oh. Just like a workspace is a home directory for Jenkins.
Yeah. Jenkins is also under varlib Jenkins only. Inside that you have workspace. So let's look into the volumes. All the volumes can be listed as Docker volume ls. Docker volume ls. There were no volumes. You can see only the header, no volume present in there. You can create a volume as Docker volume create volume 1. You can give any name. I'm giving as volume 1. See, it's there, but where is it? If you want to see where it is present, Docker volume inspect volume 1. So you can see that as var lib Docker volumes volume 1 data, right? So go there. Data directory, you have all the data should be present. As of now, there's nothing. That's fine. But see, this under var lib Docker volumes volume 1 and the default directory will be always present as underscore data. So yes, volume is present now. Now let us attach this to a container. How do you attach again? Whenever you are running, you have to attach. Like a Docker run -it or -itd -v flag volume 1. I want to attach this to my logs of the container, which is coming from Ubuntu, right? Only the v flag is new to you, right? I'm also giving name to the container as C1. Is this much clear for all? Volume 1 is on the host. My logs is inside the container. Is this command clear?
Preethi, kindly increase font size.
Huh?
Font size. Kindly increase font size.
Font size.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Is the command clear for all?
Yeah, ma'am. We are using small v for volume.
Yeah.
And volume 1, we are storing in my logs.
Volume 1 is mapped to my logs of the container. Means whatever data present in my logs of the container will be present in the volume 1. My logs is a directory inside the container. This is C1. If my whatever directory you give here is the whole container path inside the container. If this directory is not there, Docker will create it. Got it, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
So because it is not present Ubuntu, it was pulling it. It will start in attached mode because I have used -it. And now there should be something called mylogs. Yeah, do you see that? This is the one. But of course, yeah, there's nothing. Now let's say I'm creating some file here, file1.txt. File1.txt. Okay, I'm placing in the file1. Now file1 has got this line. I'm from C1. Okay, fine. Now I'm coming out of this container. How to come out of the container?
Control P, Control Q.
So that it will be running or else exit. So you come out and stop it. So I'm using Control P, Control Q. I'm back. Container is still running C1. Now let's look into the data directory. You see that in the volume you have got this file appearing. Understood the concept? So even though the container is gone, okay, I'll remove it later. You will see it. So this is data sharing from container to the host. You can do vice versa. On the host, again, I'm creating a file called file2. I'm from host file2. Okay, two files were there. Now let's attach to the container. How to attach to the container? My logs. Do you see file2 came up? Did I create file2 on the container? Is that making sense, everyone? Data sharing from container to host or container to host or host to the container. This is called data sharing. Is this clear?
Yes.
Now let's say I just came out. I'm removing it. Docker rmc1. Docker ps -a no container called c1, right? But still, do you see the data on the host? Yes. This is what is data persistency or data backup. Even though the container is gone, you still have data backup. Right? Later on, if you want, you can attach the same to any other container also. -it, let's say name of the container is C2 -v. The volume name is volume1. Map to, let's say I'm mapping to another directory called new logs, and also it's a new container. Okay. So it should create a directory called new logs. Do you see that? It should have all the data. Sorry. Go to new logs. Yes, volume data. So the same volume can be attached to other volume. The use case, the practical use case of it, I'll tell you. But understood the concept, everyone. Some of the use case I told you, like to check the logs. I will also do a lot of hands-on this. But first, let's get the concept clear. Is this much clear for everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, why are we giving Ubuntu in that command?
Yeah.
Why are we giving Ubuntu in that command?
Why are we giving?
Yeah, is there any reason?
What should we give? Like any idea? What are you expecting? What is this Ubuntu, first of all?
So operating system, right?
This
Distribution.
Ubuntu, what is this Ubuntu? Docker run,
Image.
you provide, what
Image.
do you provide to Docker run? Image.
Okay, okay. Oh, got
That's an image name.
it. Okay, got it.
You may give any image. I'm just
Any
using Ubuntu.
SQL or anything.
You may give any image name. So that container will be created. Inside the container, I'm mapping volume1 to some path inside the container. The C1, C2 is coming from Ubuntu image.
Okay.
Have you done hands-on?
Yes, because that -v comes in between that. So I got confused.
No problem. This is name flag, which provide name, v flag, which maps the volume on the host to the path inside the container. This is the actual command, docker run -it ubuntu. These are the new flags. Minus name flag, v flag. You can also put -p flag also if you want. Okay. So that's about the volumes for data persistency.
The volume created in the local host.
Huh?
I mean, is the volume created in the EC2 instance? The wall is V1. Rarely Docker volume you mention one path. So all volumes are volume created in the same path.
Yes. That's a default location of volumes. When I did Docker volume create, it created there by default. I did not create there. When I said Docker volume create, it created there. And I'm inspecting it to see the path of it. So this is about Docker volumes. There are many ways data can be shared. This is one of the ways through volumes. Let's suppose volumes will be always under this path, right? There might be some random path which you want to map. Let's say there is some random path on the host. From here, I want to share something to some directory inside the container, right? How is that possible? That is also possible. Same command, everything is same. Here instead of v, you provide that complete path. Sorry, not instead of v, instead of this volume1. Right? Instead of volume1, you provide the complete path. Like docker run -it -v tmp folder I want to map to my directory inside the container. This is how you can do. But these are called bind mounts, not volumes. Bind mounts means just like mount points in Linux. If you are a Linux person, you know mount points. Just like mount points, it's another system, another directory on the file system of the server on the host. But this is a directory of Docker, means it is managed by Docker daemon, isn't it? It is under var lib Docker volumes. That's a Docker home directory. So this will be managed by Docker itself. It's not just a normal a folder in the file system. It would be managed by Docker daemon. So Docker volumes are always preferable and more efficient. And also they ensure data persistency. Let's say you want to map it to multiple containers. This is the best option. This can be used at times when you have some data, but not as efficient as volumes. Those are called bind mounts. Clear? So which one should we use in real time? Volumes are the ones we use 98% of the times. Volumes should be preferred always. Right? So that is about volumes. And if you notice, we were always attaching to with the Docker run command. Means whenever new container is created, we were doing. What if I created a container C3 image name? Okay, without volume I am creating. Oh, sorry, I gave image name as image Ubuntu. Okay, see, I got it, but I don't have any volume attached. Let's say I'm creating some file here, file3.txt. Okay. So volume is not attached. I'm just closing it. But I want to see in the volume, it will not be there. I didn't attach the volume. I still want to have this file, but I forgot to attach the volume. See, I did not use run flag, v flag. You have to attach volume whenever you create the container, not later on. But now how to get this file? In that case, you can use something called Docker-CP. Docker-CP, container name is C3. Inside the container, under root file3.txt, I want to copy into the TMP folder of the host. So copy command, docker copy. Source means from where you want to copy, from container. Destination on the host. Before this, let's go to any folder you can. Under TMP, I don't have it, right? So if you run this command, do you see this file3 got copied? Right? Understood. Similarly, if you want to copy from host to the container, let's say, that also you can do. Like, let me create a file here. Only thing is, source is different. Source is now the current directory and the file name. Destination is container. Under root, I want to copy it as file4. That's all. Now let's check the container. Docker attach C3. First, you have to start it. Docker start C3. Now attach. Do you see file4 came up? This is how, using CP commands, you can copy from host to container or from container to the host. So what is the difference between CP and volumes? Which one is effective? Which one we should use? Docker CP. What is the difference?
When from CP, you copy it from container to host. And
Come
in
again, please.
volume, from the
First-
CP, you copy the file from container to host.
From container to host. This one. We did
Yeah.
vice versa also, from host to container.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
So what is the difference between CP and volume? Which one we should use?
Volumes is automatic, right? Once we map, it will automatically.
Yeah. CP is you have to explicitly copy any file or folder, whatever you want. But volume is like in a sync automatically. Once you attach the volume, it will be like automatic sync. You don't need to manually or explicitly copy the files there. Understood? So that's the difference between CP and volumes. Volumes, bind mounts, CP command. Out of all of this, volumes are more efficient and volumes are the ones we should prefer always. In case if you want to do copy any file, or else if you want to do anything, this might be used. Right? All right. So that is about volumes. And then, yeah. Now that we understood the volumes, let's see some real use cases for volumes. Okay. Today we'll see volumes to have Jenkins data backup. Okay. And also later on, we'll see volumes for database. Like we'll be using some database containers. So how to have backup of our database in the container. There also volumes will be used. So we'll see multiple use case on these volumes. Let's begin with one. Before that, I would like to clean up everything. Docker system prune all. Okay, see, it has deleted so many things. Docker PS. See, no containers. Docker images. No images. And Docker volume ls. You have a volume. If you want, you can also remove the volume. Docker volume RM volume 1. Right, gone. All right. So now I would like to run a container where Jenkins is running. See, till now we have installed Jenkins on the server directly, right? You can also have a Jenkins running inside a container. They were like, we have seen there were Nginx containers, Tomcat containers, so many things are there. Similarly, Jenkins image is also there. Official image. See here, we can use it, right? We may use this to start Jenkins inside the container. Let me start that first. Before that, what I'll do is I'll create a volume. Docker volume create volume underscore Jenkins. Okay, see, if you remember, I told you, if you install Jenkins directly on the server, this is the directory. This is the home directory of Jenkins. Do you remember this? This is the home directory where all the Jenkins configuration is there. If you want to have Jenkins backup, this is the directory you want to have backup, correct? Similarly, whenever you start container, there will be Jenkins home directory in the container as well, where all data will be stored. If you read this one, it will give you clarity or it will give you information on where is the data. See, it's showing you, it's under where Jenkins home. Okay, inside the container, they have configured it down where Jenkins home. Okay, this is the one you should give backup. It is also giving you some clue how to run it. So this is the one I want to attach. Okay, directly you can put the volume name and attach. If volume is not there, it will create it, but I'll create it beforehand. Docker volume create, let's say volume underscore Jenkins is the name. Now if you do Docker volume ls, yes, you have it. Of course, it will be empty. Now attach it. Docker run. I'm running in detached mode. -p. See, it is running on 8080, but 8080 on the host is not empty. Original actual Jenkins is running. So I'm forwarding it to port 9090. This is the container port. This is the host port. Binding port forwarding. Okay, -v. The volume I just created is volume underscore Jenkins. And when I read the documentation, Jenkins directory is present under this. And the image name is Jenkins LTS is the label. Is this much clear for all of you? Go through the command and let me know. Is this much clear? Any questions in the command? I'm adding name also. Let's say Jenkins. Container name is also Jenkins. Is this much clear?
Yeah, 9090 is the port where the Jenkins will run
On
in
the
container.
EC2 instance.
On EC2 instance. And 8080 in the container.
8080 in the container. Yes. Binding port
Is that
forwarding is
database name?
covered, right, in the last class. Have we covered binding port forwarding?
Yeah, port mapping is cool.
Okay. This is the container port, host port. Tell me.
It is it is taking the image from the Docker hub, Jenkins image from the Docker hub, and running it.
Yes. This is the image. You good to go? Are you all there?
Yes,
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 ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
See, it is downloading Jenkins image as it is not there. Okay, first let's see the image. See, it has downloaded that Jenkins LTS, then Docker PS. Okay, Docker PS, yes. 88 is forwarded to 9090. So this is the container name and ID, which is fine. Let's see the volume. Where is our volume? Where lib Docker volumes. Inside the volume, it is volume Jenkins data directory. Right? So here you can see. Do you see? Where is all of this coming from? I'm going inside this Jenkins container. Okay. See, you can do attach or else you will better do exec minus it. Means execute minus it means it will make sure you get the shell container name. Like attach only, but this is more preferable. Docker exec minus it Jenkins bin bash. You will understand this in some time. Just understand it says how you can make sure you get the shell. Exec minus it.
You without a hyphen.
That's a command you want to run when you log in so that you get the shell.
No, that is the command. You can remove the hyphen, maybe we can.
Docker exec minus it container name.
You can just remove the table and the table colon hyphen. You can try it.
We'll try it out. See, Docker attach will take a lot of time. It's running, it's taking you. It got stopped as I exited. See, I just did Control C, right? Let me start. Docker start Jenkins. Okay, it is running. First, let me check the port, the endpoint. So this is the EC2 instance. We did port forwarding. So this should be accessible on 9090. And one more thing we should do. Security rules, inbound traffic. Edit the inbound rules. Port 9090. Yeah, right. See, do you see this? Again, from where should I get this password? From the server or from the container? From the server or from the container? See, it is not working here because this is my git bash. Just give me a second. Mobexterm is not launching. Private. Okay, so Docker PS, right? It's running now. Let's get inside. Docker exec -it. The container name is Jenkins -- bin bash. Yeah. No such file or directory. Exec. It is weird. That's how we log into any container. Oh. See, I got the shell. Actually, -- is how we use in Kubernetes. I'm very much used to it, but forgot I'm using it. No need of this hyphens, okay? Just bin bash. Anyway, so we got the shell of the container, right? And inside this, where is the actual data? Which one did we map and how did we map? It's var Jenkins home, right? So let's go into that. Var Jenkins home. First, let's go to var. Do you see that now? Jenkins home. Yes. Do you see all of that? That's what we were seeing here on the host machine as well. Correct? Data backup. Okay. All right, fine. So this is where all the data is. And from where should we fetch this password? Where is this? See, where Jenkins home secrets. That is how we did on the host machine also. But on host, it's where lib Jenkins. Am I correct?
Yeah, ma'am.
So inside the container, you should get this. See, we got it from the container. See, actually, it's inside the secrets. Same like we did on the host. Get this password. Okay. Let's continue. It will again ask for installing plugin, same like we did on the host. It will take a while, let all the plugins install. Meanwhile, see here, go to plugins directory. I have shown you on the host machine also, if you remember. See, these are the plugins. In few minutes, there might be so many other plugins. See, do you see that so many files were increasing? Pipe grep. This will give you count. Okay, WC -L will give you count. There were 37 as of now. This will change actually. ls WC -L 51. Do you see that? Understood what it is doing and where the data is changing. 59. Yeah. So because of this, it was installing everything here. The same should be reflected here also. This is host. Same should be updating here as well. See, what I'll do is ls5. Okay, there were 81. So here also it might have updated. ls5 wc minus l 93. Same should be there here as well now. Do you see? Making sense, everyone. Volumes, what it is doing. Data sync is happening automatically. This is the data. In the plugins, lot of changes happening as we were installing them. Let it finish. Okay, like that, let's create some user here also. Admin, password, full name, admin at Gmail. Save and continue. Same like how we do that. Save and finish. Start using Jenkins. Okay, so let me create some jobs here. Job 1, a freestyle one I'm creating. Okay, just say I'm not doing anything, just a simple job. Also, let's say job 2. Okay, I'm having 2 jobs. And how many plugins? Lot of plugins, right? So I'm having 2 jobs. You can do whatever you want. Also, I would like to check finally. Okay, 162 plugins, which were not there by default, correct? Okay, I'm coming out of the container. Control P, Control Q. This is still running. Perfect, right? It was working as expected. On the host machine, you have the volume under var lib Jenkins. Sorry, var lib Docker volumes, volume of Jenkins, and by default there'll be data directory. So you have everything here. If you go to plugins, you will see ls5 wc minus l. See 162, whatever you see inside the container. Okay, fine. This is fine. Also, if you just come out of this, go to jobs, right? 2 jobs. Perfect. It was working as expected. Now let's say this Jenkins container is gone and the name is Jenkins. Let's suppose I am terminating it. Docker RM Jenkins. Okay, you cannot remove a running container. I'll force remove. Okay, gone. If you see all containers, no more. It's no more. But you have jobs directory. Still data is here. If you just come out, everything is here. Okay, volume, you still have all the data. Now, I would like to start another new container as Docker run. Name is new Jenkins. Let's say container name is new Jenkins. Minus ITD. Minus P. This time I'll forward to, if you want, you can forward to some other port. See, it's gone because container is lost. This time I'll forward to 999 8080 of Jenkins container. Also, I'm attaching the same volume. That's the name, right? Into var Jenkins home. Okay, and the container name is Jenkins. Sorry, image name. Clear with this, all of you? Same command, but this time this volume is having lot of data, all of this. Is the command clear? And it's a new container called new Jenkins. Container name is new Jenkins. Is this much clear for all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So the container, if I start like this, it should have already the login. It should have all the plugins. It should have 2 jobs. It should not be a new instance. Let's see. Now it's there, but on 999. Okay, let's hit 999. It's a new container, correct or not?
Yes, yeah.
New container, but it should not behave like a new one. Why it will not behave? Let's see. See, it's not asking to create user. How come admin user is there? I did not create in this container. I did not create these jobs in the new container. How come those jobs appear? Also, if you go inside Docker exec -it new Jenkins bin bash. Okay, you get the shell. Here, if you go to where, inside where there will be Jenkins home. If you go here, yeah. Yeah, see, let's go to jobs directory. 2 jobs. And if you go to plugins, if it is a new one, there should be only few, but you should have all ones here. Do you see that? Understood how volumes can be used?
Ma'am, one doubt.
Hmm.
Did we already whitelisted 9999 inside security groups?
Yes.
Okay.
Security. Here you have 999.
Okay.
Got it, all of you? So that's one of the real use case of volumes. The container data should not be lost, right? Let's say I have a pipeline there, or else I have some plugins. I don't want to redo all of that for a new container. Attach the volume. This is the practical use case, how volumes work. There is another use case for database backup. Okay, we will look into that when
The
we go
data will
for.
be lost for if EC2 instance terminated. So right? If we terminate EC2 instance, that volumes also will be gone.
If EC2 instance is gone, yes, because volume is residing on EC2 instance. You can also put it on a remote server. Not only on the same server local, you can also put it on a remote server by configuring a different driver. That is also possible. Any more questions? So that is about volume. Now that we have understood the volumes and all of this, like volumes we have done, port forwarding we have done. But if you notice, till now we were using official images like Ubuntu, Hello World, or Jenkins, or Nginx. This is how we were using. What if I want to deploy my own address book application, or else I want to create my custom environment? Correct? That's where creating our own images comes into picture. Right? We can custom create our images. Let me clean up. Docker volume RM. Okay, everything is good, cleaned up. What if you want to create your own custom environments or deploy your enterprise applications? That's where creating our own images comes into picture, right? So how do you create an image? We learned a formula. If you remember, you create a Docker file. From this Docker file, you're getting a Docker image. From this image, you create a container, right? This is how you do. So whatever images we are using till now, all the official images were also created in the same way. Now let's create our own image from Dockerfile. But not only from Dockerfile, there's another way you can create. One is a standard method, which is Dockerfile. Second one is you can also create a container image from a running container. How is that possible? How can you create a image from a running container, right? Let's see. Let's look into this. So let's look into the second method first, and then we'll come to the first part. From a running container means let's start a container. Docker run. Okay, before starting it, let me tell you a few things. Let's suppose official Ubuntu images. It's just having fresh Ubuntu installation. Suppose I start C1 from here and start working here. Let's say my project names Java here. I'll install it. Later on, my project names MySQL Server. I'll also install it and working on this. Okay, fine. Tomorrow, if I have to start again a new container from this. Okay, let's say I'll start C2. Again, I should keep on installing all of this, right? Java and SQL, whichever my application needs. Each time I start a new container, I should keep on installing them. So rather, I got an idea that after installing these packages, I will save the state of this container into some new image, my own image. Next time onwards, rather than starting a container from Ubuntu official one, I'll start from here. Let's say C3. Now C3 will have fresh Ubuntu with Java and SQL, right? Got the logic. Every time if I start from Ubuntu, I have to install all of them. But once installed, I'll save the state of this container. How to save this, I will see. So I'll save this container into a new image. Next time onwards, I'll start a container from this so that every container will have all these packages. This is one way of creating a new image. C4, C5, all of that will have Ubuntu, Java, and MySQL. Got it, all of you? Understood this, everyone? So let us do this practically. Let's do this hands-on.
It's the same like a snapshot, right?
Kind of, yeah. So Docker run.
Snapshot or AMI?
Hmm?
AMI. Machine image. Like in EC2, V2.
Machine image is different. Machine image, from machine image, you get a VM. You get an instance. This is, you get a container. Let's say -IT Ubuntu. Okay, I'm starting with a fresh Ubuntu because we deleted everything. It is downloading the image and start a container. Of course, it has Ubuntu, but it doesn't have Java or it doesn't have SQL. All of this not there. So you may install them. How to install it? Like how you install on any Ubuntu machine. You can Google it like we install Java on CentOS, right? Similarly, you can Google anything you want. Like particularly if you want to install Java on Ubuntu. We did it on CentOS. So you can do it on Ubuntu. There were so many help available. You can follow and install. But here our interest is not to learn installations. I'm not doing it. I'll just update the package manager and will install Vim. Updating the package manager, apt-get is the default package manager in Ubuntu. And you don't have Vim package. See here. Whereas on CentOS, you get Vim by default, but you don't have Vim here. You have other editors. So I would like to install it. Just a small change I want to make. You may install Java, SQL, whatever you want. It's up to you. I'm just installing a simple Vim package. Or else, I don't think you have Git. If you want, you can install Git, whatever you want. Okay. I'm installing Vim editor. Okay, if you run Vim, yes. It's not saying command not found. Vim is installed. Git is not there. If you want, you can also install it. Whatever packages, okay, follow the steps in Google and install whatever you want to install. I'm also installing Git now. Yeah, Git is installed now. Okay, fine. I have installed 2 packages. I just want to come out of this. And later on, I want to save this. So come out of it by keep it running. How do you keep it running? How to come out but still keep the container running? Control P, Control Q. I came out. Container is still running. Container name is C1. Now I would like to save it. Docker commit. Okay, the command is Docker commit. Container name is C1. And the image name, like my own image. And I would like to give the tag as Vim so that I can understand it has got Vim. It should create an image. It has created. Yeah, this one. Okay, I want to test it.
So what does it mean? Docker commit means
It will save this container into this image. It will save C1 into and create this image from C1. To test it, I want to go inside Docker run -it my own image colon Vim. It could not find this image. What is that? My own image. Oh, see, I have written a different name which is not available
Spelling mistake.
locally. Yeah, it was trying to pull from her, and because it couldn't find, it was giving me error. See, I got the shell. Is Vim there? Yes, you have Vim. Is Git available? Yes. Making sense, everyone? Understood? So, now this is my own container, means container created from my own image. Got it, everyone? This is the one coming from my own image. Jealous Hassle. This has got all packages, whereas C1 will have only Ubuntu. This is a way you can create your own image. Simple method. Any questions? Suppose now I want to store it in my Docker Hub. Let's suppose I want to push into my own repo. I want to push into my own repo. Already 3 images were there. I want to push in. Can I do this? Will it go to this? Is this correct? It doesn't have any username, right? It is going to official Docker Hub, but it doesn't find this repository, it's giving error. What should I do if I have to push it to this repo?
To enter your or Docker Hub account name.
Tag the existing image, right? This is the existing image, old image or existing image. Tag it means you are naming it as such. Let's say I'll say my Vim package. Create a copy of it with a proper name. Now push it. It should be available. My Vim, right? Right? Understood the importance of tagging. Or else whenever you create, you might have given proper image name there. I have given a dummy image name, so I'm tagging it later. Or else whenever you are creating, whenever you are committing, give proper image name like this. Later on, you don't need to tag it. Making sense? It says it is pushed. Now, if you refresh this page, you should see my Vim tag. Do you see this? A few seconds ago, this was pushed 7.8. My Vim. Right? What I mean is you can tag it later, or else whenever you are giving the name here, Docker commit, give a proper name here itself, give this name. So that later on you don't need to tag it, you can directly push it. It's up to you. This is how you can create containers from a running container. Sorry, how create images from running container. Understood this, everyone? Simple, isn't it?
Yes.
This is one of the ways you can create it. There is another way, the standard method through Dockerfile. So here what you will do, you will create a Dockerfile. Dockerfile is a text file. So let us do that as well. Always the better practice is create a separate directory for your Docker files. Create a file. The file name will be Dockerfile. You can give any name, but always this is the standard we follow. We don't give any name, other names, but if you want, you can, but we never do that. And the file will not have any extension. So this is your Dockerfile. So Dockerfile will have Docker instructions. Like first one is from. You can always use a base image. See, I'll do whatever I did in the earlier method. Means I'll install Vim and Git. So first you can choose some base image. Means it will first download Ubuntu. From instruction will download the image. You have something called maintainer. This is optional. Creator name if you want, you can put. And then whatever commands you want to execute during the build, you have to write here. Update the package manager and install Vim. That's what we did, right? If you want, you can also install Git. So run command will be executed during the creation of the image. Right? All these will be executed during the creation, during the build of the image. CMD command will execute during the launch. Let's suppose I want my container also to display some message like hello world. Do you remember hello world container? Whenever container is created, it will display some welcome message. If you want to run some commands during the launch, they go under CMD. Means CMD will be executed during the launch or during the start of the container. If you want to also display some message like hello world, this is how you should do. Means hello world container is made, hello world image is made such a way that it is displaying the welcome message we are seeing. Run commands will be executed during the creation of the image. Understood everyone? That's all for now, a small image. And whenever you build it, okay, at the back end, what happens is for every Docker instruction you write at the back end, okay, a file system layer will be created for every instruction. All these file system layers will be packed or will be stacked one above the other, which is your image. That's why till now, whenever it's downloading, you are seeing it's pulling the layers, right? So those are the file system layers managed by Docker-3. Every instruction will create the file system layer. This is what happens when you build the Docker image. Same happened earlier method also, same thing happens, but in this method, you can visualize that thing. Were the Docker instructions clear? There were many other Docker instructions. We'll go through them. This is a small image with a simple Docker instructions. Let me build this. How do you build?
In Dockerfile, D will be capital or D will be small?
It is not case sensitive. You can use anything. Okay. My own image. Let's say this is coming from Dockerfile. Dot means the location of Dockerfile. It's in the same location. So I'm giving dot. See? Do you see? That's what I told. 6 instructions means 6 file system layers. All of them will be stacked one above the other, which makes your Docker image. Earlier method also same thing happened, but there we cannot visualize this. See, it says images created. Docker images. Docker. Docker images. See, this is the one, right? So let us test it. Docker run -it. What is the expected output of this? What are we expecting from this command?
It will contain this Java, MySQL, Ubuntu.
It should give me the shell, right? I'm running in attached mode. But it's not giving me the shell. It's printing this message like hello world. But how do I get the shell? What is happening here is generally those containers will be running bin bash. Okay, bin bash means you get the shell. But in the CMD, I wrote bin echo, which is overwriting this bin bash, and we are not getting the shell. But at certain cases, like earlier Jenkins also, if you want to make sure you get the shell, Docker and -it, add bin bash here, so that you get the shell. See, I got the shell. Right? So yeah, Vim will be there. Okay. Git is there. This is the Dockerfile method. Dockerfile is the standard method. That's how we should build images. Even the official images were also built in the same way. I'll show you those official Docker files also. And we'll talk about the size of the images, official Docker files, and lot many things. Okay, but this is the basic Docker file we have. We will discuss those things tomorrow. But before we continue it in the next class, any more questions, you can go with your questionnaire now. Also, some of you having questions from the previous day's hands-on. See, I would like to inform you one thing. Whenever you are doing hands-on, you might be stuck up, right? Certain things can be resolved in the WhatsApp group, right? But certain things I may have to look at it. So if there were any unresolved queries, please make sure you're joining the class regularly. That's one thing you should do. It's not that you join the class randomly unless you have anything on priority or urgency. Please make sure you're attending the classes regularly Also, at the end of the class, whenever I say any questions, I'm waiting there for 10 minutes. So you can put your queries there, okay, and solve them whichever were unresolved through the WhatsApp group. So utilize this time. So now you can go ahead with any questions which were still on hold, which were not resolved. You can begin with those questionnaire also.
Ma'am, in this, can you, when you were doing this Jenkins, can you do this master slave also? Because when you integrate this Jenkins with Dockerfile, give one example on master slave also.
What is master slave and where do you need this master slave?
No, actually, when you will integrate Jenkins with Dockerfile,
Jenkins in Dockerfile. Why we need Jenkins in Dockerfile? We already started Jenkins container. Now, what is Jenkins in Dockerfile? Please elaborate your question. Let's have clarity first.
we will
Like,
be
what do you mean?
installing plugins now, basically for Dockers.
Yeah, not for Docker. You mean we already started Jenkins in a Docker container. Now, I think you are asking about starting a Docker container from Jenkins, kind of.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
For that, we don't need to do anything for in the Dockerfile.
Okay.
For that integration, we have nothing to do with Dockerfile. How to do that integration, we will learn.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other question or else? Yeah, is that your question or anything else? You can.
Yeah, ma'am. In Dockerfile, we will start from, and then we will write the commands, all the commands, what things to install them.
Correct.
Okay. And that Dockerfile, we will make an image using build command. Docker
Yes. Yeah.
and that and now after
Yes. Any questions from anyone?
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
like,
yeah, ma'am, this is from pipeline as a code. So can I paste that error in this chat?
You can share your screen
Okay.
so that I can see the error. Is your system ready?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you can share your screen now. Meanwhile, others can go ahead if you still have any queries.
ma'am, for the volume,
Yeah.
ma'am, I paste my question on the chat. You can, if,
1 minute. 1 minute. I'll look. Can you all see the screen?
yes, ma'am.
Participant screen, is it visible for you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is the error?
Actually, it's some Java.
Can you go to tool, global tool configuration, where Mozo means Java version issue? Tool configuration. Click on Java. JDK installations. Where is your Java?
But I have clicked
That's
install.
automatically, but you did not choose automatic installer. You have to select the drop down, please. You have to select the option. You have to configure it completely. You did not configure it.
Okay, that's
Unselect this, please. Can you unselect
No,
this?
what she need to select here, she selected, right? Install automatic.
Select once again, please. Select once again. He's saying something. Let's see. Yes. Yes, Srikanth or
Yeah, I'm asking him. She already selected, right, madam? What she has to select again?
she need to select installer, right? You selected install automatically. In the drop down, you did not add the installer. Click the drop down, please, once again. You should select either extract from tar file or run the batch command or shell command to install Java. Let's suppose choose the last one. Run shell command. There we should write the commands to install Java, setting the path, everything. It's not that because, scroll down please, scroll down. Scroll to the end to Maven. Maven, please click on it. Here, we just selected the version because that's how Maven is configured. It doesn't ask for that and all. It just asks for the version we did. Of course, installer is another method is there. But here, this is fine because it's asking for version. If you give version, it is installing. Also select that installer once again. So you can also choose them, right? But it is asking from install from the version and it's saying install from Apache. Already default option is there. We have selected. Unselect this please once again. Unselect this checkbox. Install automatically. Yes. Select once again. See, it's by default install from Apache is there. We have selected means it's an installer. It's installing from Apache. Similarly, scroll up please. Now go to Java. Java also you should configure your installer. Scroll up. Again unselect and select it. You should select the installer. Close it. Close it. So you should choose what way you want. It is not giving you directly something like Apache or else it's not giving directly from the any provider. You have to choose it. Otherwise, it's not installing. Can you go to the CLI of the Jenkins server, please? Go to home directory of Jenkins. Just varlib Jenkins. ls tools. Go to tools. Tools. Just type in. You don't have it. Small t only. You don't have it. So tools were not installed. Automatical tool installer doesn't work. Now go back to Jenkins, please. No, from the UI. Unselect this checkbox again. Put the Java home from your CLI. I think you installed it manually already. Echo Java home. You already set Java variable, right?
Yes.
Yeah. $.
Sorry.
Where is it? Did you set it?
Yeah. This one, right?
Check the Java alternatives config Java. Copy the, where is Java 8?
I have uninstalled it and try with Java 11.
No, what you have to do is install Java 8. Put that path in the HC profile. Also source the file, like source HC profile. First, echo Java home. You should see Java 8 set here. Put that path in the tool configuration in the Java home variable on the Jenkins.
Okay, I need to select which option here.
No, manual installer. You are installing Java 8 manually means we want to use manual one.
Okay.
Put that path here as well. Okay, try it out and let me know in the group.
Okay, thank you.
Any more queries from anyone? Okay, there is a question in the chat. When we can do volume all the time or only when we want to take backup? If we want to have backup, Ujjwal, if you want to have backup or share the data, then we'll use volumes. Like for database containers, like Jenkins, we need a backup. Wherever you need backup or wherever you want to share the data.
But it is not a best practice to take all the time. If we want, we can take I
See,
don't
there is
know.
no point of taking
Okay.
backup for a container which is not storing anything, right?
Okay.
If a container is not storing anything, why do you need a backup for it?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Like a front-end containers may be there, which may be running just the you, or else you don't want to share the data. It's not that you want to share the data always, right? Some of the use cases are like contains data container like Jenkins or database containers, or else there might be some UI running there. Maybe you don't need any backup there. Why do you want to have it
Okay.
always? It's
Got
not
it.
default thing. Depending on the requirement, we'll choose the volumes. There were lot many scenarios we'll use these volumes for. Okay, we will be working with microservice application with the front end UI and the back end as database where we'll have volumes attached. We'll look into many scenarios.
Ma'am, one question.
Mhm,
Suppose in manual deployment of Java code, first we clone the code. Suppose we are doing manual deployment, like
mhm,
we clone the code,
mhm,
okay, from
mhm,
GitLab,
mhm,
we get the folder. Then
mhm,
inside the folder, we will do ambient clean package for
mhm,
build a WAR file, and then we have to put in Tomcat DevOps folder.
mhm.
So in pipeline as a code, how can we write this, ma'am? To copy the
That's what is
folder,
Docker integration. How
to
do you
copy the
deploy? How do you containerize your applications?
no without Docker, if we want to copy
Mm,
from target folder
mm,
WAR file to the
mm,
to web apps,
mm.
then we have then how in pipeline how can we write this?
Copy command is there, right? Linux copy command.
Oh, okay.
CP. Linux CP commands are there, right? Shell commands. CP commands, move commands, delete commands we have seen in Linux. So
Okay.
sh CP the file from source to destination.
Okay. Well, I also see in pipeline in the code one point that there's a heading called environment. In environment, we can specify Tomcat, OPT, web apps. We have to write environment also.
See, it is up to you. The path, whether you put it in a variable or you hard code it, it's up to you with it. Like, see, the path variable, if you want to set a path in a variable, you can do it. But you asked me, how do you copy? So I said CP from source to destination. You know CP command, MV commands in Linux, right?
Yeah,
So in
ma'am.
the
Copy.
pipeline as a code sh CP from source to destination. If you want to parameterize the source and destination into variables, you can do it always.
Okay. And one thing, ma'am.
Mm,
Suppose a previous WAR file is in Tomcat. So we want to take a backup
mm.
with the particular date. Suppose I have done today build. So today's
Backup
date
of
will come.
Linux server or backup of container.
Backup of Linux. I'm not talking. No, container is not there. Only VM is there.
Okay,
So
backup of Linux servers is like, again, you have to use CP with some cron tab running or put the cron tab running always so that it will be in sync always. Okay, backup for Linux servers is different concept. It's a Linux administrative part. Generally, we will not do this. Yeah, but yeah, you can do CP with a cron tab so that always data would be synced onto whatever folder or whatever server you want. That's
with
about
that,
Linux. If you are talking about container backup, you have volumes. You will
because
do similar kind of mount points on Linux servers as well.
in one pipeline the code, I saw the environment heading is also there in pipeline. Where
Environment
we
variables, right?
no environment heading in which they are described about where is the Tomcat path they have given environment.
Environment means environment variables, right? Environment block where you put the variables.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you don't want to hard code, you put the path in environment variables. We did that for the dev server IP, right? We have used some environment variables, if you remember. Have we used environment variables or not?
Yes, boss.
Yeah, similarly, you use another variable to store the path.
Ma'am, I have tried it, but still getting error.
What is the error?
I think same thing. Cannot access default properties of Maven.
Can you share the screen?
Okay. See, I have installed and set
Mm.
Java 8.
Go to Jenkins. Tool configuration, please.
Yeah, I have given that.
Okay.
Okay. Then
Can you go to the job once? Go to the job, configure. Where are you running this? Scroll up, please. Scroll up.
this is my GitHub.
Scroll up, please. On which server you are running? Scroll up.
Yeah,
It's running on master machine.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Run again. Console output. Scroll down. Import. Can you go to the CLI once? Tools directory. Jenkins tools.
It's not there.
Tools is not working for you. Again, go back. Go to the job configure. Can you show me your Jenkins file? Jenkins file. Tools block. Where is the tools block? You are not telling it to use which tools it should use. Tools block missing.
Okay.
It's not installing tools in the tools folder. Maven is
Yeah.
not there. Java is
Okay.
not defined.
Okay, fine. Let me try that.
Whenever you are doing the hands-on, refer the drive also. Keep the drive open. Get the
Okay.
code from the drive. Don't watch the video and write the code. If you write, recheck with the one in the drive. Okay, double check the code.
Okay, ma'am. Let me try this.
Sure. Yeah. All right then. Thanks everyone. See you all tomorrow. Bye.